Somewhere over the rainbow, birds fly over the rainbow.
Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be joined by two special guests today, Tristan from the Porch podcast, and Big D from Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews, and we're going to be reviewing the 2023 holiday slasher Thanksgiving. So, in this movie, after a Black Friday riot ends in tragedy, a mysterious Thanksgiving-inspired killer terrorizes Plymouth, Massachusetts, the birthplace of the holiday, picking off residents one by one. What begins as a random revenge killings are soon revealed to be part of a larger and sinister holiday plan. So, before I get into my part, I'm going to let my guests do their part. So, first up, I'm going to let the Porch Man go first, because I don't have him on here near as much as I have Big D lately, because he's been helping me with the Pixar reviews and stuff and everything. So, I thought I'd let Porch Man go first this time and everything. In the next collab, I'll let Big D go first. So, take it away, Porch Man.
I want to give a huge thanks to Ogre Boy 1992 for letting me on this collab with him. But Thanksgiving, so I gotta say, the Black Friday scene, oh man, that was brutal. Like, people are getting ran over with the carts, like, people are dying on Black Friday, and I mean, it's brutal. It's by far one of the most disturbing things of the film was that Black Friday scene, because, oh man, it was disgusting. It made me sick to my stomach, I kid you not. The idea for having a Thanksgiving-themed horror film, I don't think it's been done before, and it's something I think is new to the horror genre, having a Thanksgiving horror movie, which is pretty creative. The scene I found kind of disturbing was the fact that cooks a woman in the freaking oven and she's burning up. But it gets worse. When John Carver, our killer, slices open the skin and serves it on a plate and then has a wine glass full of blood. Oh my, that is disgusting. It is. So the gore bit of it, they do a whole lot of gore. And I like the look of our masked murderer here. Man, it doesn't look that scary, but at the same time, it's that scary. That's gonna be it for my part of the review. Thank you. And see y'all later.
And thank you for joining us on this review, Porch Man. It was awesome having you on here, and I always enjoy having you guys on here and everything. And I agree with a lot of your review and stuff. I'll talk about my thoughts and stuff too when I get to my part, but before I do mine, it's time for Big D to do his, so take it away, Big D.
Hey everyone, this is the Big D, and I'm going to be collabing with Ogre Boy and the Porch Man as we review the 2023 slasher flick known as Thanksgiving, which I recently reviewed on my own channel, Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. First of all, I like how this story starts out on Thanksgiving and an unruly mob gathers outside a local superstore, not to be confused with, the other kind, as they prepare for a Black Friday sale. And that it turned into a riot, and well, soon the people that got involved in this are being stalked by a figure wearing a John Carver mask. And that's when the bloody goriness really begins. Now, I like the cast performances in the film. Patrick Dempsey, Nell Verlaque, Aston Ray, Jalen Thomas Brooks, Milo Manheim. A lot of the others are pretty good and what have you, but they did an exceptionally good job. The score for the film, done by Brandon Roberts, plus the other tunes heard in this film, are actually not too bad either. I gotta tell you, this really does feel like you're seeing an actual grindhouse film, since this was kind of a, well, I think you know what I'm trying to say. Now, I like how this film was adapted as a third feature-length adaptation of an actual grindhouse trailer after Mache and Hobo with a Shotgun, which I've talked about in my review, and I think this is really something. I will say some of the humor was a little, I don't know, but the gore and the kills were over the top and what have you. I will say it was pretty good and what have you. A lot of kills were pretty bloody good. I'd have to go to tell you what my three favorite kills were in this film: the dumpster kill, the trampoline kill, and the table saw kill. Those were pretty bloody and gory. Definitely. Still, I must admit, Thanksgiving is definitely one bloody good Thanksgiving-themed horror flick. As much as I liked the cult classic 1987 film known as Blood Rage, this film kind of surpasses it in my opinion. Also, I think Eli Roth's direction for this film is pretty good. I wouldn't pick this as my favorite of his, since I did like Cabin Fever and the Hostel films. I probably would put this in between the first and second Hostel films, to be honest. But of the whole, I think this was really something. And I would recommend you check this out if you haven't seen it yet. So as always, thank you for making me a part of this, Ogre Boy, and of course, along with the Porch Man too. Until then, this is the Big D saying see ya.
Thank you, Big D. It's great to have you on here as always. I always enjoy having you on here as well. As far as my review goes, I really enjoy this movie. I think it's a really fun movie. And everything. It was one that I really wanted to see when it first came out. I just had so much going on in my personal life and everything. I just didn't get around to seeing it in the theater and everything. And so it just didn't work out. But I'm really glad that I finally did get to watch this. I thought it was a lot of fun. The cast are pretty good in here. I didn't recognize most of the main cast members, to be honest. Really, the only person I recognized was Patrick Dempsey and everything, and I thought he was really good in this movie. I'm not like a huge fan of him and everything. I like him in the Enchanted movies, and that's really about as far as my knowledge of Patrick Dempsey goes. I know he was on Grey's Anatomy, which I did watch a little bit of when it first started. I'm not super familiar with that show either, though, to be honest with you, and everything. I'm just not a huge fan of him. I don't hate him or anything, just not a huge fan. I didn't really care for him in Scream 3, though. I know everybody wants him back for Scream 7 and stuff, and I just don't really see the point in it, why we need him back for Scream 7, in all honesty. I didn't really care for him in that, but I thought he was great in this movie and everything, although I will say his accent is a little wonky and everything, because I think he tries to have a Boston accent throughout the movie, but sometimes it's there and sometimes it's not. It's kind of humorous, though. But I will say the humor is pretty well done. Like, if you like Eli Roth and you get his humor and stuff, you're gonna love the humor. If you don't like Eli Roth's humor, you're definitely not gonna like it either. I don't know if you won't like the movie, but you won't like the humor at least. But I think most of it landed pretty well for me and everything. And the kills are awesome in here. They got some gnarly practical effects and stuff, and really awesome kills. My favorite one, I might be the cheerleader on the trampoline. I don't know why, but that one just really got to me and everything. The way she just jumps and she falls on the knife and everything, it just, oh man, it made me cringe. But the kills are so brutal in this movie. I was not expecting that, like, because it seems like nowadays a lot of horror movies that the kills are kind of tame, unless they're like A24 movies or something. But like as far as the slasher movies I've seen in recent years, they kind of been kind of tame or just not super great. But except for like Terrifier 2, I will say that those have some really crazy kills. But like Saw 10, I felt like the kills were a little bit tame compared to other Saw movies, or like the Scream movies. They're kind of tame with the kills and everything. And Halloween kills had some great moments and stuff, but like the other two in that trilogy were they weren't like super bad or anything, but they weren't as gnarly and stuff. But this movie had some of the best kills in a slasher in recent years that I have seen. Like there were some great kills in this movie, and I really think that the John Carver killer is really a great new horror villain. I could see him becoming an icon and stuff, and I'd love to see more with this character and everything. I think we're getting Thanksgiving 2. I think it's supposed to come out in 2025. So I'm really looking forward to that one. And that one I will be going to see opening night, because this was a really fun movie that I really regret not seeing in the theater and everything. I've been trying to see a lot of the big horror movies in theaters and stuff, whether they look good or not, because the horror genre has become one of my favorite genres. And just like with comedy, everything is a hit or miss. You could have really great horror movies, and you get really bad ones, and you get some that are just really mediocre. And I feel like that's the same thing with comedy. Like, horror and comedy are a lot alike in a lot of ways. They have their cliches and stuff, and sometimes they're done really well. Sometimes they're so bad that it's hard to watch them. Sometimes they're so bad they're fun and everything. But this movie is definitely one that's just a lot of fun and everything. And I've seen a lot of comparisons to Scream and everything. I think that comes with the whodunit aspect of it, which I was like, I saw the homages that it did pay to Scream in there, but I didn't feel like it was just like Scream, though. Like, this movie paid homage to a lot of classic slashers and stuff, and Scream had some big homages in here, especially towards the end of it, but I saw homages to all kinds of different ones. I mean, the opening scene alone is just, it's a homage to Halloween and everything, which I thought was awesome. There's a lot of really great homages to classic horror movies and stuff, and the Black Friday scene at the beginning is just balls to the walls crazy. It's like, if that's what going to the store on Black Friday is like, I'm glad I've never gone there. I don't go Black Friday Christmas shopping usually ever, because I don't do crowds anyway, but that makes me not want to go to one even more. But I will say the killer reveal surprised me. I did not expect him to be the person to be the killer that it was and everything. When I first saw the poster, I was like, that person might be the killer, but I'm like, I doubt it and everything. And then I started to watch the movie, and I actually honestly thought it was going to be one person in particular, and it ended up not being that person and everything. I'll just say the mayor. I don't want to run too much, but that kind of already runs a little bit if you were to watch the movie and suspect him. But I'm trying to keep this review as spoiler free as possible, and everything, in case you haven't seen it, since it is still a fairly new movie and everything. But I really enjoy this movie, and I'm not saying that the killer's motivation makes him right for what he did. He killing a bunch of people and stuff, like the people that he killed and stuff, and killing them in all the brutal ways and stuff. I'm not saying that it's right, but I do understand his motivation and stuff, and it is understandable. Like, he kind of has a sympathetic motivation that you could understand why someone would go crazy like that and everything. I could definitely understand that and everything. And some of the characters I was ready to see die from the very beginning of the movie, especially the first one that gets killed, when the one that Tristan was talking about getting killed in the diner and stuff. She deserved it. Like I wanted her to die so bad and everything, and I thought that was a pretty cool kill. And she gets cut in half in the dumpster and stuff. Oh man, that was brutal. And then the one that got cooked in the oven and turned into like a human turkey, that one was pretty crazy too. But like I said, my favorite one is the trampoline kill. But I thought it had a lot of great kills, and this was like one of the first big slasher, mainstream slashers in a long time where I felt like the kills were so damn good and everything. Like, the more I think about this movie, it's pretty freaking awesome and everything. The only negative that I really have with this movie is a lot of the characters are obnoxious, and I don't really care for any of them. None of them really stood out as great characters or anything, except for some of the side characters and stuff. But like I didn't really feel bad for most of the ones that died, especially, like I said, that first one. But a lot of them I felt like kind of got what was coming to them. It's kind of gave me the same vibes that I get with Carrie and stuff. It's like, some of you guys kind of did deserve it and everything, especially just because of the one scene at the beginning of the movie. But yeah, so I'll say that this is definitely an instant classic slasher movie. It was fun from start to finish, and I think this is going to be the start of a really fun franchise. I really hope so, anyway. Everything. I could see them spinning out 3 or 4 sequels to this movie. I'm hoping that maybe this could be the next big horror franchise. It's like the slasher genre is finally making it back and everything, and I'm here for it. And everything. And this one was a really great original one and everything. We don't get a lot of Thanksgiving horror movies. The only other one that I can think of off the top of my head is Thanksgiving, which is more of a horror comedy, and it's a so bad it's good movie. But personally, I prefer that movie just a teeny bit more than this one, just because I love the absurdness of it, and I love weird crap and everything. But this movie is definitely better written, better story, better acted, and all that. But I just think Thanksgiving is just a little bit more fun because it's bad, and it's bad, and it is what it is. I've reviewed that movie if you want to hear my full thoughts on that one. But yeah, so Thanksgiving is a really fun movie, and I really enjoyed this movie a lot. Like I said, it's probably the movie I regret the most not going to see in the theater last year. I really do regret missing out on this one, because it was a really fun movie and everything. So anyway, I'd say I'd give Thanksgiving an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I think as time goes on and stuff, this movie's going to become a classic and everything, and I might even move it up to a 10 out of 10 eventually. But for right now, I'm sitting at an 8 out of 10. Everything, mainly just because some of the characters really did get on my nerves and everything. But then again, it also made it more satisfying when they died too. So, but yeah, this is an awesome movie and everything, and the visual effects are great in here. The humor is good. The homages to the classic horror movies is great too. It kind of felt like an 80s slasher movie set in modern times, which was awesome too. And it gave me My Bloody Valentine's vibes, Halloween vibes. Felt like there were homages to all kinds of different movies. So I thought they did a really great job with that too. I thought that was awesome and everything. I respected what it came before it, but did it in its own way and everything. And I do get why some people are saying this is this generation's Scream. Like, this could be this generation's big franchise. We'll see what happens, but I really love this movie, and I think that it has a lot of potential and everything. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of Thanksgiving, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.